Hey, my loves. Happy Sunday. It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Belle Collective, Season 6, Episode 4 review. Halloween is this Friday, and I'm having my annual Halloween party here at my home. I will be vlogging it, so it'll be up during the weekend. Can't wait for y'all to see my costume. It's major, okay? If you didn't see my last Halloween party, it's under the vlog playlist. Baby, it was everything. I didn't have one in 2024, but I had one in 2023 and it was epic. Okay. My costume was Tyler's and Tiara's. That's all you need to know. It was epic. So make sure you check out that vlog video. But anywho, let's get into these dang on bills, child. Oh my word. So we pick up where we left off last week, guys, with Glen getting up out of his seat and going over to Javon, who is a stud, and getting in her face and telling her she can't do that, you can't do that, you need to chill. And Javon says that Glen is lying and that she saw the DMs. So Glen was like, didn't you just come around? That might have been nothing to a lot of people, but it was very much something to me, because what you mean, didn't you just come around? What you mean by that? That means that you would either have to be paying attention to what Amanda doing, who she dating, or you know more than you should know about what Amanda got going on in her life. Because what you mean, didn't you just come around? Yeah, my ears perked up. My spidey sensor was like, oh, you know who Amanda dating because y'all fucking around. Duh. So Glen gets upset and he goes outside asking the guys, who is Javon? He was like, who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Where's she coming? Like, he tried to switch it up and act like he didn't know her. He never seen her before. But you just said in the house, didn't you just come around? See, I peep game, because y'all know I'm a reformed hoe. So I know hoe activity when I see it, okay? So Amanda and TISHA are talking separately outside. And Amanda says to TISHA, I've always tried to keep it at a bare minimum with Glen, but he has always been in my DMs on Instagram. Latrice standing right there and Facebook. He was like, where you come from, Chicken Little? Like, what's going on? What is going on? So TISHA was like, can you just let us talk or whatever? And so Latrice was like, okay. And so she scurried back on in the house. It's mighty funny that you want to tag team in the conversation and want to say, oh, and don't forget Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter. You know what I'm saying? If you could do all that, then you could have came to me separately as my so-called friend and let me know this. So that gives me the thought process that, yeah, you on bullshit too. You let yourself slip right there. You shouldn't even came over there and said nothing. So TISHA asks Mandy to see the DMs. So Mandy going through them, and she sees that the messages were from 2023, before their so-called recommitment that they had. So TISHA is just like, oh, okay, like it don't matter to me. That was before we got recommitted. And says in her confessional that Mandy is being thirsty. And I'm just like, TISHA, whatever you got to conjure up in your mind to make you feel better, because I wouldn't give a goddamn if it was before recommitment, after the recommitment, before the resurrection, after the resurrection. Regardless, he was trying to get on one of your associates, somebody that you knew. Like, that's totally disrespectful. First of all, he a married man. He shouldn't be dealing with nobody. Let's just go there. But then you want to try to downplay it like, oh, well, that was before we recommitted. Girl, recommit my ass, goddamn. Recommit to you getting a better wig. All right? Like, stop. Please, please. So she goes on in the house and they steady talking about it. And Latrice tells TISHA that Mandy said Glen recently reached out to her, which cracks her face because she thought it was done and over with. So she was like, what? Recently? Mandy. So mind you, outside, Howard Hewitt is all up in Glen ear telling him, don't get upset, dog. Don't get upset. Stay calm, because it's making you look guilty. Meanwhile, I'm looking at these niggas like, why are y'all dressed alike? Did y'all peep that they was dressed alike? Had on the same palm tree outfit? What is this, 1988? Are y'all kid and play? What is happening? Why are y'all two grown middle-aged men dressed alike? And you know they did it on purpose. Girl, I can't. Like, Howard Hewitt need to be Glen lover, okay? Choosy lover. So TISHA walks up on Mandy again and confronts her and was like, did he reach out to you recently? So Mandy was like, I respect marriages, but if I wanted Glen, I could have had Glen yesterday. And gotcha, bitch. TISHA, you big for nothing. Because ain't no way in hell you sat there and let this Mighty Mouse looking bitch tell you to your married face that she could have your husband if she wanted to. But she respect marriages? What the fuck? Why would you even say that to her, first of all? And you just sitting there, I would have said, excuse you, bitch? What the fuck you just say to me? Girl, you let Albert and the Chipmunks play all in your face. If you didn't pull out one of them jalopy titties of yours and smack her across the face with it, you better. Girl, that was so disrespectful. So TISHA was like, he said something to you recently? And Mandy was like, yeah, February 3rd. And Jovan backing her up. So TISHA was like, in February, he was trying to fuck with you? And she was like, yeah. So they then go outside to confront Glen. And Glen's standing there with his cigar. So TISHA says to him, I'm asking what happened. Is Mandy lying? If we both recommitted at the first of the year, I've told you several times, don't put me in a position to have nobody coming to me saying nothing to me. And here go Glen. I ain't had you in no type of position, dog. You tripping. I ain't had you in nothing. So Mandy was like, is Mandy a liar? Is Mandy a liar? Am I lying about anything? So she raising her voice. And Glen was like, we danced. That's it. Because he knew if he didn't fess up, she was going to go there and really get to telling it. And it's mighty funny that he had more fear in his heart for Amanda than he even had for his own wife. So he was like, we danced. That's it. I ain't fuck nothing. I ain't take nothing home. So everybody was like, oh, wow. So Mandy walk off at that point. And TISHA just sitting there looking sad and delirious. And I'm just like, po tink tink, po tink tink. Because what you mean y'all just danced? Let me go dance on a nigga. And that's exactly what I would have did. I would have went and grabbed every nigga up in that bitch and got the back of that thing up and like, now how you like it, nigga? Since we want to dance on motherfuckers. Let's dance, nigga. Let's go. Shit. We can have a dance competition in this bitch. Dancing with the stars, ho. Like, what's good? So, TISHA in her confession was like, I'm humiliated. I'm hurt again by Glen now. The questions that Latrice put on that paper were aimed at me and Glen in my marriage. You think? You think? But I really want to know what you're crying for. Because you done been through this with this man 50 million times. At this point, it shouldn't even hurt. Like, you should just be like, oh, girl, that's old news yesterday. I'm sticking beside him. I don't give a damn. You sitting up there crying. Like, why would you ever believe anything that come out this man's mouth when he has consistently been himself, which is a liar and a cheater? Consistent. Like, since y'all have been on television, Glendale has been consistent in who he is as a person. You just want him to be what you have made up in your head that he possibly could be. But it ain't that, girl. And you need to let that dream go. He's a philanderer. All right? Let it go. Let him roam the streets and be free, girl. Gone. Let it go, girl. Let it go. So, the next day, Kerri and Marie visit Lateshia at the crib. And Glen is going to work. And she ain't got no makeup on. She got a robe and stuff on. She look like she been crying all night. She tells them that she slept in the bed with Josh. I know Josh is sick of you niggas. Josh is tired of y'all. I know Josh is like, can I get a good night rest without you motherfuckers bothering me? Mama, get your big ass out with this goddamn twin size bed. Shit, go in the room with that nigga. Leave me the fuck up out of this. I know that baby is tired of them. Woo! So TISHA break down crying again. And Latrice calls, but she don't answer. She was like, look at the call. I ain't answering it. She was like, because it was a setup. It was a setup. She set me up. And I was like, duh. So Marie was like, Lateshia, she has shown you over and over the snake she is. And you didn't believe it. So it's almost like, I'm sorry it served your ass right. Because she has showed you. And I was so glad that Marie said it. Because that needed to be a aha, I told you so moment. Because like, girl, you saw how she was doing Marie over and over and over again. Had tried to ruin her business and everything else. And you stuck beside her like the fool you are. And literally was trying to make Marie seem like she was the issue. She couldn't let it go. So that is what you get. Sorry. So TISHA gets to peeling off her lashes and she boo-hoo crying. Boo-hoo crying. And I really wanted to feel sorry for her because I know that pain and I know that hurt. But like Maya Angelou said, once a nigga show you who he is, girl, believe it. Believe it. You trying to hold on to that teenage love affair y'all had, and baby, y'all grown now. It's time to grow up and get some value in yourself. Like, he know that all he got to do is give you a little puppy dog face and promise he gonna change, and you gonna take him right back. You gonna take him right back. So he gonna continue to do what he do, and the cycle will just continue. But what you need to be worried about is the fact that your son is getting older and older and older, and Josh will grow up to think that it is okay for a man to cheat on his wife and that the woman will stay. Even if you can't leave him for yourself at this point, you need to leave him for your son so he can know better and do better. Because he's seeing and hearing everything that's going on. You don't think that little boy hear you crying? Y'all arguing, no matter if it's in whispers or not, that baby know what's going on. This is ridiculous, girl. So Latrice and Mandy take a walk. And Howard Hugh was still not coming home. And what's so funny is Latrice and Lateshia have more in common than anybody on this cast because they're both in fucked up marriages. They're both continuously disrespected by these ugly ass men in their life. Because this nigga up here looking like Bernie and Ert. Like, you just, girl. So Latrice is like, the Belle's gonna blame me and say I invited you to come at TISHA and Glen. Girl, not only is the Belle's gonna blame you, but the world is blaming you because we all see through the shenanigans and know that this was a setup. A setup. I would have had more respect for you, Latrice, if you said, Mandy, this is what we gonna do. On camera. We gonna have this party. We gonna bring that shit up. You gonna put it out there on the table, and we gonna let the chips fall where they may. She tried to play me. I'm gonna play her. Instead of you trying to do things behind the scenes like Marie been saying you've been doing for years, and try to act all innocent and act like you ain't had your hand in this. Girl, get the fuck out of here. Girl, you're dumb. We're not. So Mandy then apologizes for exposing it at her house. I was like, y'all got the storyline good though. Y'all got it good. So Latrice was like, I know the girls are going to be mad at me, but at the end of the day, Glen, you sent the first DM. Okay, yeah, Glen sent the first DM, whatever the case may be. But your ass knew about this before y'all filmed this season. Girl, you been knew about this since it happened. This your so-called best friend, but she ain't tell you this until recently. Girl, get the fuck out of here. You think we dumb? Girl, bye. So, Mandy was like, even back in February at Taste, he had his hand all around my waist. And Vaughn was like, come on, she was hot. And Latrice like, what? Really? Girl, all this going down at your club and you have no idea? Like y'all ain't got cameras? Stop, Latrice. Please stop. You knew about all of this and you sat back and was just like, we gonna hold this in our back pocket for when we need to use it. Your friend felt some type of way about Lateshia and the things that y'all went through last season because she keep on bringing it up. You felt some type of way. You act like you forgave her and then you went in for the kill. Like, bye. Bye. So Latrice says that Cliff is mad at her because he want his friends to feel comfortable at his house. Now, I do believe that Cliff was in the dark. He didn't know anything about this because he wouldn't allow for her to do no shit like that because he a nigga, just like Glen a nigga, and he would have protected his friend, good, bad, or indifferent. So I do believe that Cliff is upset with her, very much so, because he know his wife. He didn't call her a snake. He know she ain't shit. So he know that they did this shit on purpose. He knows it. He knows it for a fact. For a fact. And while you sitting up here doing all of this with Lateshia, you need to be focused on who your husband up there fucking in that upstairs apartment. Because it ain't you. You need to be focused on why your husband refuses to come home. You need to be focused on why that old ass nigga even got with you in the first place. You need to be focused on your daddy issues and why you put up with this old geezer treating you like ish. You need to be focused on why this man feel comfortable enough to call you out your name and be grabbing on you and shit. That's what you need to be focused on. Why he talk down to you, why he treats you like he's literally your father. You got bigger fish to fry, girl. Bigger fish to fry, because Latrice can sit up here and try to act like she got it all together. She owned her businesses. Bye, girl. That man owned part of Goddess Links and everything that you got going on. That's why it's not easy for you to just get up and leave. Bye. Girl, bye. So Marie visits Cedric at his her school. Did not know he had a her school, and it's literally right next door to his house. Didn't know he had that going on, because y'all know last week I was just questioning, did that man even have a job? But yeah, he's a cosmetology teacher. Wow. They actually met at her school. Didn't know that either. And I was like, no wonder it's a little, how you doing with Cedric? So they get to talking and she was like, look, you got to get rid of that bed. And he was like, why? And she was like, because it had been too many bodies up in there. Okay. Too many bodies. And this man had the nerve to say, well, if I get rid of the bed, you going to help me spruce up the house for when I have company. And she like, spruce up the house. Like, so you don't plan on coming home with me and your daughter? And he was like, I mean, do you trust me? And she was like, yeah, I trust you. And she says to him, though, that I feel like the house is going to be a temptation for you if she redecorates it. Marie, them finger waves must be hard as shit. because You just as dumb as Lateshia and Latrice. Girl. You shouldn't even want to be fucking with no man with that 1982 bed anyway. Pushed up against that wall. That pissed me off more so than anything. It wasn't even centered in the room. We were just pushed up against the wall. The bedding wasn't nice. It was just a mess. A mess. You letting a beauty school drop out play in your face. What is wrong with y'all? And then this man asking you to spruce up his house. Nigga, if you don't take your ass to Wayfair, Amazon.com, Target, Walmart, and do it yourself. Because all you got to do is fix up his house for the next bitch. You about to go through the same shit again. And you sit up here talking about something you trust him, but then in the same token, you going to sit up here and say, but you feel like the house going to be a temptation for him. Girl, you don't trust him. You don't trust him. Ain't shit changed. I don't even know why you doubling back. That nigga is bisexual. And by bisexual, I mean you can buy him and he will be sexual, okay? Because he is in it for the coin. He already making his way back into your pocketbook, you idiot. Oh my God, y'all are crazy. Kerri surprised Matt with a romantic dinner to show him that she's, fully concentrated on their marriage and improving things. That man was so happy that she did that for him. And it wasn't nothing but a little blanket and charcuterie board, but he was happy. And he says that she's never done anything like that for him before. And he loved it. He really honestly loved it. And it goes to show that it's not always the men that need to get it together. It's both parties that have to continue to work on the relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's never just going to be peaches and cream. Women have to put effort in too to make their man happy and to fulfill their needs. And that man was over the moon just for her feeding him some cheese and crackers. And looking in his eyes. That's all that man wanted. He was just so giddy and happy. So ladies, yes, take care of your man as well. Then lastly, Glendale is working on a house with his stepdaddy. And he's talking to the man about everything that happened and how upset he is. And his stepdaddy gonna tell him, so you a good man, Savannah. And I was like, Daddy, you must be ain't shit neither. Get the fuck out of here. So Glen feels betrayed by Cliff and Latrice. He says this. And I was shocked that he felt betrayed by Cliff, because I honestly don't think that Cliff knew that was going to happen or had anything to do with it, right? So Lateshia come out and asks to speak to Glen. So the daddy go in the house and Lateshia sit down and says that on the way home from the pool party, Glen told her 3 years ago at the masquerade party that Mandy came up to him and said she was going to fuck him. Tisha, are you hooked on phonics? Did you go to ICDC college? Because what the fuck you mean? She came to you 3 years ago and said some shit like that, and this your first time telling me? So obviously you didn't tell me because you wanted to take her up on the motherfucking offer, and now I know that y'all been DMing and talking. Yeah, you was trying to see what was up. And you just sitting up here having a casual conversation like it's going over your head. Are you all right? Like, oh my God. Them bras be too tight. Them bras and them waist trainers she be stuffing herself in. It's cutting off that lady circulation. It's cutting off the oxygen in her brain. That got to be it. It got to be it. So she says, when we make a recommitment, I told you anybody you see, don't bring them around me. Girl, well, that's half of Jackson, Mississippi. Because the way y'all be talking, Glendale be getting busy, okay? So Glen was like, I didn't bring nobody around you. Latrice brought Antoinette around you. I have not given anybody a reason to feel like I want them, that I'm attracted to them. I'm disappointed. I looked at Cliff like an uncle. They don't give a F about me, you, or my son. Anybody that don't give a F about me or mine, they unalive to me, man. Girl, he taking this grandstand. Girl, when the smoke clears, him and Cliff gonna be right back buddy. And you and Latrice gonna be into it and not friends. And life is going to continue on as normal for him. He just telling you what he knows you want to hear right now. And that's fuck Latrice and fuck Cliff. Because he know you don't like Cliff no way. And that Cliff is a bad influence on him. And you dumb enough to fall for it. Dumb enough. Because Cliff ain't been meaning you no goddamn good. But now that you've been caught, all of a sudden now Cliff is the bad guy. Girl. So Lateshia started crying. Because she says that she thought that she removed all the snakes from around her. Excuse you? The biggest one is holding your face right now, telling you it's okay. That nigga is the anaconda. Girl, what about that don't you get? He is your biggest op, bitch. Your biggest op is laying in the bed right next to you. There's a stranger in my house. You better listen to Tamia, bitch. What the fuck is... So Tisha was like, I just don't know who for me. It ain't this nigga. Only thing that I've seen that Glendale does right is be a provider. That's about it. He's not a good husband. Don't know how he is as a father. Maybe he's a good father, but he's not being a good father by constantly lying and cheating on you and hurting you and allowing y'all's son to witness this. Okay? But you talking some, I don't know who for me. That man ain't for you. This is not love. That is not respect. That is not loyalty. Girl. She's like, I'm just so tired of people constantly playing in my face. Girl, not people. Your husband. That's who you tired of. Girl. But she obviously didn't want to say that. That's why she said people. And then she was like, so we good? And he was like, yes, we good. And she was like, I just asked you, like, if we're not good, just leave me the fuck alone. Girl, stop asking him to end it, because he's never going to end it, because he's found a fool in you and he know that you ain't going nowhere. You're going to be the person that has to end that relationship. Glendale ain't never leaving your ass. He ain't never leaving. Why? He got the best of both worlds, like Miley Cyrus, girl. He could have the wife and the son and the home, the love and support, a nice wet hole to slide up into, whether it be your mouth or your vagina, a home cooked meal. And then he can go outside and be a nigga and fuck on other bitches. Why would he leave? And he on TV now, rapping. You are the one that's going to have to end that relationship. But before you do that, you got to get some self-esteem and some dignity about yourself. Because Lateshia has broken written all over her. It don't matter how many tight clothes she put on, how many push-up bras, how many twisted wigs, getting her face beat. That lady is not confident. She's not confident in herself and her ability, in her looks, or nothing. Nothing. She don't think that she can live or survive without that man. Maybe she feels like she ain't gonna be able to find nobody else because she plus size, and I don't know why, girl, because niggas like a lot of cushion for the pushing, okay? You got a successful job on TV. You got this business. Girl, you better go on about your business. Girl, stop. Stop. And I hope for her sake that she brightens up and leaves this man, because it's going to get worse every time. And God forbid she get that boulder dropped on her head, or something so bad happens that you ain't got no choice but to leave this nigga. You better hope this man don't bring you nothing home, have another baby on you. Girl, just anything. Like, leave, TISHA. Leave. Whew. This week's episode was good, though. I'm going to give it an A. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode of Belle Collective. Let's talk about it down below in the comment section. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so y'all know when my videos drop. I love you, T Squad, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.